In a conversation to manifestation, every minute you generate roughly 6 thoughts. It makes you to have in a conversation every 60 seconds. It happens automatically on a subconscious level. You are not even aware of it. So today's episode, we're going to talk about how to master your inner conversations, how to turn your thoughts into affirmations, how to communicate with other people without jumping off the track of your own active or so-called walking manifestation routines, and how to make your inner conversations and thoughts work for you, not against you. So you would just get to your destination more precisely and have an unforgettable journey while doing so. Hey, thank you for being here. It's Natasha Makoti and it's Natasha's show, episode number 2. Let's carry on. Let's just discuss what does it actually mean inner conversations to manifestations. Let's talk about it. That means you are constantly manifesting, whether you want it or not. Whether those manifestations are positive, negative, or indifferent. Without acknowledgement, your constant thoughts and inner and outer conversations when you talk to other people bring you responses in actions and externalize throughout appearances in your life and people's attitudes towards you. As Neville Goddard says, speech is the image of the mind. Therefore, to change his mind, he must change his speech. By speech is meant those mental conversations we carry on with ourselves. The world is a magic circle of infinite possibilities and possible mental transformations. For there are an infinite number of possible mental conversations. And he also says here, everything is manifestation of a mental conversations which go on in us without our being aware of them. But as civilized beings, we must become aware of them and act with purpose. Number 2, positive thoughts or inner conversations have high vibration frequencies, while negative thoughts or inner conversations have low vibration frequencies. Thus, it produces frequency waves and elicits responses of the same quality waves internally and externally. Florence Scovel is absolutely marvelous metaphysician who said, negative thoughts are like an army of aliens. Deny those thoughts and contradict them with positive thoughts immediately. She also explains the fairy tale about Snow White. And it's kind of like this. She draws comparisons here. Snow White is a kind of beautiful lady, and this is your superconscious thoughts and dreams, and evil stepmother as your negative or subconscious living thoughts and conversations with your own self while you're not even noticing it. So she draws comparison here that Snow White is poisoned and dies. She poisoned with this beautiful apple and she eats it and she just dies. So she compares it with your programs from your subconscious mind that you think about. Those months basically run you down with failures, vicious circles of unluck, unwellness, problems with health, and all sorts of things that happening with you. Now, when Prince comes and kisses Snow White, that's when your subconsciousness wakes you up, your awareness, your consciousness, and when you present yourself consciously, you receive demonstrations of your life, and this is your metaphysical transformation. So basically, when you are awakened and you're starting to run your life the way you actually want it to be run, not by being ran with programs of other people or advices of other people, you actually build your own reality through your 4-dimensional affirmations, through your will. You rebuild your life. That's just a little tale about Florence Scovel comparing legend or fairy tale of Snow White to the real life scenario, and us as humans just living our lives as old men lives their lives by old programming and the way we were taught to live it. Number 3, internally you communicate with your autonomic and sympathetic nervous systems, while externally you communicate with other people's waves and objects' waves. What does it actually mean? Both those are so important. Why are they so important? Because, as I said before, your body and your subconscious mind have no direction. Your thoughts act as will in action and take it exactly where you send them to, you know? So your body is constantly listening, and it is waiting for receiving orders from your mind, you know, your subconscious mind ready to play a cassette or DVD that you are ordering it to play. So your superconscious is a beautiful DVD and your subconscious is a DVD player. So it's just going to play that cassette. So your body is constantly listening and it is waiting for orders, and it externalizes how you feel physically and emotionally. Let's just quickly discuss how we actually direct our body to feel unwell. How emotional problems can cause unwellnesses and disbalances in the body. You would think it's a complete la la land scenario, but it actually isn't, you know, because your body has no direction and you direct it all the time with the thoughts type. And if you loop in it all the time, of course, you're going to externalize it. It's going to reflect on the external. So for example, Florence Skelvashim draws relations between skin diseases come from irritation, exasperation, and criticism of your own selves and others. If you talk about other people not in the right way or in an unpleasant way, this is when you develop skin problems. She even says, it gets under my skin, or he gets under my skin. That's how she relates those things. While eyes problems, for example, they come from fear, suspicion, paranoia, living in the past or in the future, but never living now. Anemia comes from unfed desires, lack of happiness. Deafness or ears problems come from strong personal will of something and resistance to accept other opinions, stubbornness, and desire not to hear certain things. Like when you refuse completely, you say, I'm not going to hear it, you know? So they say that problems comes from that. So false growth or cancer come from hatred, jealousy, emotional problems, resentment, and fear. Heart disease, they link to fear, anger, resentment, to show love or emotions. Everything, as you can see, can be related to some kind of type of unwellness. If you constantly live in hatred and resentment of not showing love, this is going to take you to some kind of reciprocity experience in life with other people, or some type of stagnation in your body. You have a will to choose what DVDs you're going to play, meaning thoughts, conversations you're going to run with yourself and others, how you're going to loop, and what is it going to bring you in exchange, what kind of emotions is going to bring you in exchange, and how it's going to reflect you in your inner and outer world. While externally you communicate with other people's waves and objects' waves, you think that your thought and your conversations about other people are completely secret and discreet, but they are not, because we are one universal soup where we are cooking all the time. The thoughts you think, other people sense and know about, that externalizes in their attitudes towards you. And this is how it is. If you think about it carefully, last time you thought about someone in a bad manner, or you told someone something about some person, thinking that that person that you addressed will never find out about it, the next time you saw that person, for example, their attitude towards you was mean or disrespectful in some way, why do you think it happened? Because that person actually sensed it in some kind of way that either came to that person in a dream or just thought about it. You know, you never know why idea comes into your mind. You don't know because you don't control it. Your subconscious mind simply feeds your mind with thoughts that you are thinking right now. So that happens because maybe somebody spoke about you to someone and you sensed it, because the energy cannot be voided. The words that are said, they work. They fly away and they go on about their day and they reach their destination. Let's just say you saw that person that you were discussing or you were thinking not nice thoughts about, and you all of a sudden see that person, and then you see this disrespectful or some kind of a very cold attitude towards you, and you think, what the heck happened? Your first thought will be like, how did she or he found out about what I said or thought? But really, the waves of energy travel to those people directly, and they feel and sense exactly what you think and say about them. It is like if you send them a parcel or a letter and they receive it, they received your thought. That is how it works. That's why in relationship and other friendships, you can never think negatively about the other party or partner, you know, or a friend, or criticize yourself in relationship to those people, because they will know how you see yourself in their eyes and they will treat you exactly that way. Precisely to the T. They will know exactly how you think, they think about you, and they will just externalize it for you. They will show you exactly what you want them to think about you. Because when you loop an idea over and over again, it manifests. I'm just going to bring a little example from Neville Goddard's book. He gives a very good example. He says, one day, a girl told me of her difficulties in working with her employee. She was convinced that he unjustly criticized and rejected her very best efforts and intentions. Upon hearing her story, I explained that if she thought him unfair, it was a sure thing or sure sign that she herself was in need of a new conversation in peace. The meaning of it is that he said to her that she had to revise it. So there was no doubt she was mentally arguing with her employer. For others, only echo that which we whisper to them in secret. She confessed. She said, yeah, I do argue with him all the time, mentally, all day long. When she realized what she had been doing, she agreed to change her inner conversations with her employer, and she revised it. She imagined that he had congratulated her on her fine work and that she in return had thanked him for his praise and kindness. To her great delight, she soon discovered that her own attitude was a cause of all that befell her. The behavior of her employee reversed itself completely. It echoed, as it had always done, her mental conversations with him. And he also says here, the events and relationships of life are your word made visible. Most of us rob others of their willingness and their ability to be kind and generously nice to us. By our fixed attitudes towards these people, we make these people be not nice to us. This is what Neville Goddard said here. Let's carry on to number 4. Number 4, you elicit responses inevitably, and the attraction happens automatically. Positive communications vibrate on the higher frequencies and attract high quality waves in return, which we were talking about it just now. And negative communications vibrate on the lower frequencies and attract low quality waves in return. The exchange happens constantly on a 5-dimensional level, and we don't even analyze it because it happens all the time, and we think we're doing something discreetly or in secret, but actually it's all in one vessel, and everybody knows about everything you think and say. They feel it, they sense it. Talking about Neville's goddess experience, when the girl told him how she experienced her relationship changed with her employee when she changed her inner conversations, we can bring that example to our own experience every day. But nobody taught us how to revise it in our minds, because somebody actually taught us and we learned from some kind of source that talking to yourself is a madness, like only crazy people do it. But it is actually not, because you're doing it anyway. So might as well change your inner conversation altogether about other people, or stop discussing other people with other people, or stop thinking about particular person in particular situation, or keep memory going in your mind that something bad happened and you keep repeating it in your mind and nothing changes. Everything externalizes by your thought, and we experience it over and over again. Your relationship never change with other person by you talking to that person directly, reconciling all the events with that person and trying to revive it, solve it somehow. You can't do that, because once you stop talking to that person, you come back to your old habit of discussing that person again. And that's what we don't understand. We don't understand one simple thing. You actually can just play that in your mind in a different manner. For example, something doesn't go well with that person. Instead of calling your friend or your girlfriend, you know how we do it? We do it the old way. Like my girlfriend would call me and she'll be like, this, my partner, that, my partner, he did this, he did that. She thinks he doesn't know what she's saying, but he sensed every word she said. This is how it works. So instead of complaining about other person to this person in particular that you're talking to right now, describing your life this way and that way, you should be revising it or talking about something you want, because that is going to transpire anyway. It's going to transpire. So all we have to do is learn the technique that helps so much better, is to reimagine yourself that that person is perfect in your relationship, that you're having with this person everything running smoothly, flowing your way. You just imagine that you have an absolutely wonderful relationship with this girl or that boy or anybody, your friend. You're having wonderful conversations together, you're having wonderful trips together, you're having a blinder. Everything goes perfectly, and that is going to externalize, because that is going to be sent as a parcel or a letter to that person, and that person is going to sense it and it will receive it, and next time you see that person, he or she are going to be with absolutely marvelous attitude towards you. They'll be like, hey, how you going? That's how it actually works. We just have to change our way. And this is going to help so much more, rather than us running old programs and living in the past and replaying bad music or bad DVDs that happened to this particular person or another, and making problem even bigger with those people. So instead of going and calling somebody and reliving that experience or making it even worse, you should be replaying it in your mind the way you want it to happen with this person. As simple as that. You just play it out. You play life. And Florence Scovel-Shinn, she said it in her book, and the book is called The Game of Life and How to Play It. She said why people always think that they can play golf, tennis, football, any kind of game, but they don't perceive life as a game, because life is a game. And if you embrace all the tools and skills of how to play it right, you will actually enjoy it. Don't treat it as a routine or a chore, and treat it as fun, something that you can have today, you can play in your head before you even awaken. So before you're awakening, you can lie in bed and just think about something absolutely marvelous, and that exact thing will happen to you. A little affirmation can change your entire day. It can change your entire experience of the day, and you can do it. So I'm going to come back to Neville Goddard's saying from Mental Diet's book, and he puts it here very simply. He says, talking to oneself is a habit everyone indulges in. We could no more stop talking to ourselves than we could stop eating or drinking. It's the same thing. He draws the simple relation here. You eat and drink, it's one thing. You think and speak is a mental diet thing. So he's saying here, all that we can do is to control the nature and direction of our inner conversations. We were told, as the man thinketh, so he is or she is. And why is that? Because the thing is that embracing your thoughts and conversations is actually owning them. So might as well honor it. It is necessity to control it, you know? Because if you think about something you don't want, it externalizes being aware, not awake, using your super consciousness to direct your desires. Because your mind and your body don't judge the quality of your desires, you know? They don't judge it, they just do it. They do as they told. They are simply going to execute what you ask them to do. Your body and your mind, your subconsciousness are simply two machines, two very powerful machines that will drive you exactly where you direct them to, because they received your commands and your directions to drive you there. Your thoughts and inner and outer conversation will fruit and bring your profits, whether those are bad, good, or indifferent. You get what you wish and you get what you work for, in other words. Be very careful and aware of what you wish for, and watch like a hawk that what you think and what you say, because it cannot be void. You probably heard it so many times because it was said not once. By your words, you will be justified, or by your words, you will be condemned. Well, it comes from the Bible. I'm not trying to propose Christianity here. I'm just taking it because it's metaphysically being told, you know, not only once. Number 5, how you vibrate is your synchronicity. And what you attract is your synchrodestiny. And that's how manifestation happens. And you don't even know it. You don't even think about it. Now imagine if you verbalize your thoughts, the energy triples in size. All the frequency waves double or triple accordingly. Negative and positive frequencies double in their radioactivity and create wave, strong force, either way. Positive force, negative force. Number 6, there are 1,440 minutes in a day. And out of this 1,440 minutes, 720 minutes you are awake for, but awake is not aware. Aware is when you are taking responsibility for every thought you generate and every inner conversation you make and outer conversation you make, when you take responsibility for it. So how do we take control of those wild thoughts that we run in our minds without even giving it analysis? How we take control of those thoughts and inner conversations? That's how. Make every inner conversation as if all your events and relationships of your life are your words made visible, baby. Because they are visible. People know about them, no matter how you put it. They know about it and they sense about it. Next time you meet that person, they look at you, they act towards you, carrying those energies in them that you charge them with. And you think you were discreet and in secret discussing them or thinking about them, but they come to them because they know, you know? And so are the things. You attract or you push away things exactly the same way. For example, you think you're not worthy of money, or you're not worthy of some love or brilliant relationship or marriage. I don't know what you want. Whatever you decide, you play. When your decision is made, your superconsciousness made decision, your superconsciousness, your third eye made decision. I am going to play that DVD. I am going to play. I am not worthy of a man. There are no men for me, you know? And you play it and play it. Not only you play it yourself in your mind, then you take it out. You go to your friend and discuss it with them. Or to friends, and you discuss it with passion, with emotions. What are you attracting? What do you want, you know? You have to be talking about things that you want. You want every minute count. And of course, I'm not telling you for 720 minutes to control your thoughts completely. It's not going to come overnight, but with practice every day, over 21 days, for example. Let's just take 21 days, doing it every day consistently, every day, trying to control first 10 minutes, you know, and then trying to control another 10 minutes, and then another 10 minutes, and then 1 hour or 2 hours or 3 hours. And then it will be just a simple habit that you will develop over time, thinking absolutely amazing things. And I am telling you, there are books about it, what kind of affirmations you can have, looping it as pendulum in your mind over and over again. Florence Scovel has a whole entire book about it, and the book is called The Word is Your Wand. And in every NLP book you will read that we have 4 brain waves where we constantly reside. We reside at states of beta, which is your reactional brainwave state, your alpha, where you slightly relaxed and you are creative, your theta, where you're completely genius, and your delta, when you're completely asleep. So when you are drifting into sleep, this is theta wave where you are, and this is the most powerful state of manifestation. This is when you can meditate, and whatever you meditate on, in the silence, you go away, you go into that dimension where you can actually focus on things and just repeat them over and over again. It doesn't have to be beautiful, just one sentence, and you repeat over and over again. Choose for yourself what you're gonna play. This is your superconsciousness. Set you with DVD and you're going to play it. And this is how you can put those thoughts on place. Instead of pendulum, you know, things that are completely redundant, they don't do good for you. You overthinking something in the past that happened 100 years ago, made it big in size, thinking about it all the time, and then it repeats in your life over and over again. Whatever it is, you know, could be repeating some kind of unluck or whatever you think about, or some kind of pattern that runs in your life all the time. You thought about it, you prepared yourself for that. So instead of doing that, you can lie in your bed and just say a simple affirmation. One of the favorite is, today is a wonderful day. Magic and miracles are happening to me all the time. I look with wonder at that which is before me. And just repeat that. Just repeat that. And I also say, I give thanks for my beautiful body electric, for every cell in my body filled with light, vibrance, and eternity. I am bornless, I'm deadless, you know, I am eternal. I'm eternal, immortal, whatever. So just loop it in my mind. Or I give thanks for this beautiful day, for my beautiful beginnings and accomplishments of all the successful things that happened to me today. I give thanks for that. So I already affirmed it. I affirmed that my day is going to flow. It's going to flow endlessly. Right to the end of this day, everything is going to be marvelous. I'm saying this. I give thanks for a beautiful day with beautiful beginnings and endings, accomplishments, with success. And there will be success in everywhere I go, or everything I think or say or do. There will be success. There will be nothing else but success. And I constantly think that. I look with wonder at that which is before me. It's already setting you a setting of something completely marvelous happening to you. Or this is wonderful, something is absolutely marvelous happening to me all the time. And you can repeat just that, you know. You can do all sorts of affirmations, you know. Florence Kalvashin is my favorite because she already giving you all these little poems, you know, already rhyming away. Like, for example, if you're after your work success or business success, you can sing, I have beautiful business in a beautiful way, and I do wonderful service for a beautiful pay. And just loop it in pendulums over and over again. Or I have a wonderful work in a wonderful way, and I do wonderful service for a beautiful pay. For example, for happiness, you can say, my barn is full, my cup flows over with joy. You can say all sorts of stuff and just loop it over and over again. Like, for example, in a relationship, there is no separation in the divine mind. Therefore, I cannot be separated from the love and companionship which are rightfully mine by divine right, you know? And you can repeat that. For example, you can say, I love everyone and everyone loves me. Or you can say, I deny debt. If you owe money somebody, or you have a big credit card and stuff like that, you can say, I deny debt. There is no debt in divine universe. I don't owe anybody anything, and nobody owes me anything. And just repeat that. If something is going on in your life, you can always rethink that. You can always revise that. And that's exactly how it is going to work and externalize for you. Whatever you want is going to go out there and do it for you, you know? As simple as that. So, and this episode was about inner conversations and how to master them. And how to master them, we already put all the points in place. There is also a short video here that you can watch. It's a little short video that is probably 1.5 minutes or something. It's been posted on my Instagram, on my YouTube shorts. It's everywhere on TikTok, you know. If you get lost in the transition somewhere, or your mood is bad, or you know you're emotionally drained and you're thinking some dark thoughts, this is what you can do. The link is included below, so you just click on the link and listen to it. It is so simple to fix it up quickly. Is to take an affirmation before you go to bed or before you awake and read it a couple of times. You will memorize it instantly because it will click with you. I have included links for books that you can buy on Amazon, you know, and read, and those ones are going to help you, because in the end of the day, if you cannot come up with affirmation that you can make up yourself, you can read some affirmations from other people that are being successful. Like, for example, there is a whole book about it, The Secret. The Secret was the first book that made me to come to something consciously that I wanted to achieve. You know, I read the book, I followed the steps to the T, and I got exactly what I wanted in a short of 3 months. I was just constantly imagining, and I'll tell you this, the task wasn't easy. I'm not going to say out loud what it was exactly. That this material probably for another video, where I'm going to show you all the successes that I have achieved through my conscious thoughts and affirmations and imaginations. How I have achieved what I wanted to achieve by working on it wishfully. I had a will, I had a focus, I played it all the time, I imagined it all the time, and that happened to the T. Even better than I have imagined it happened. And it happens to you too, you know, every day, whatever you're looping in your mind, playing it over and over again, are going to make you feel bad, good, or indifferent. Whatever you're looping all the time, whatever you're wishing or thinking or talking about all the time, are going to elicit response. And those responses come through feelings, through emotions, and as I told you before, emotions and feelings, they produce hormones. And those hormones make you feel either good or bad, you know? So you are the master and you can change it anytime you want. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. I believe in you. If you're working on something, if you're repeating something all the time, that is going to come through. It is going to externalize, and you're the one who's going to decide whether it's going to be completely marvelous and awesome or, you know, not so good. You are the master and you're the boss, baby.